My time as principal at the school has been now for about 7 years. I arrived in 2011 and the school was on an upward curve of success, about 450 students. Previous principal, Gary, who's a friend of mine, did a superb job. He took it from 250 kids. So we were in a position of strength and it was a terrific appointment to be given. We had a great team in place, great staff. Now though, we're a school of 900 and a school of excellence. So the school has doubled in size. At the time, it was about a 70% retention from our primary schools, with 30% of kids leaving. Now we retain 90% of our students. And we've got 154 staff at the school, so it's become a really high-performing school, and it's just been fantastic. The school has changed over that time because I think across the whole school we've been focused on a very clear vision. It is a fact that in country towns, the number one reason why families, and not single people, but families stay or leave is the strength of the high school. Often people come to country towns if their children are in primary school and they're quite happy to stay in primary for a little while, but then they'll assess the state of the high school and stay or leave depending on the strength of the high school. And what we were finding was that 30 or 40% of students and families were leaving. So it doesn't bring sustainability to a town. It doesn't bring strength to a town. People don't invest in the town and you get a sense of transition, ongoing turnover of people. So we were pretty clear about that vision from day one in terms of that our role was not only just to teach students, but it was also to be part and build this community to ensure sustainability. Our part in that in this community, of course, was to make the school strong. That would retain families, retain students, and as you spiral upwards, more students stay, your results get better. As your results get better, more students stay, but ultimately the town becomes stronger. Everybody wants to work in a really productive organisation, and if you're able to win people's hearts and minds, then they understand that. So as the school got bigger and more successful, we employed more staff. As we employed more staff, our culture got stronger. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it actually allows people to enjoy their work. Becoming an IPS in 2013, and not only as an individual school, but as a cluster, I think was one of the great enablers that allowed us to enact our vision. I think it's really important, you've got to know where you're going, and then using the flexibilities afforded under IPS allows you to then create that vision and make it happen. A couple of things about that. One, obviously the staffing flexibilities. We knew we were going to grow and we restructured parts of the school to allow us to do that. Therefore, selecting your staff to meet the demographic of Broome was really important. We've got about 30 or 40% of students who are aspirational will end up at uni, and we've also got 30% of students who live in a fair amount of dysfunctional poverty. So you've got to create a staff that's going to allow you to meet the needs of all of those students, especially if you're going to get them through to Year 12 fully qualified. The one-line budget, I think, has been critical in our success. Now giving that impetus to schools and the ability to move money from one priority to another based on all your characteristics of student funding gives you a real impetus and ability to decide on exactly how you're going to meet student outcomes. There's a fair bit of work involved, but as a school we've thoroughly enjoyed that. And for me to be able to empower my senior leadership team and say, look, we will be able to do this, or yes, we can do that, or look, go and give that a go, we'll be able to find some money for you, has been quite critical in our success. And it's all based on a very strong targeted vision of getting kids across Year 12. So everything is about the whole, and the whole is about everything.
The main benefits for flexibility in schools I see is that everyday decisions are made that impact on students' learning, and empowering those that are best placed to make the right decision for their local context is essential strategy to ensure that the greatest impact of those decisions, while also ensuring the value for money and the resources are targeted.
Most critically in any change management process, it's the leadership of an organisation that's going to make a difference, and absolutely not the leadership by one person. It has to be a team-oriented effort. We've got 900 students and 150 staff. There's no way as principal I'm going to be able to lead or want to lead every single person. If you're going to make sure your organisation is strong, your leadership team, however big that needs to be, has to be extremely strong. So our leadership team went from about 8 people and it's now 18. And whilst that's a big leadership team, it's critical because it covers every domain of the school. So it covers every learning area, it covers student services, it covers our behaviour management team, it covers our senior admin. It also covers our academies which deal with Aboriginal education. So all those people, again, it's about bringing the whole into one and the one into a whole. So we've managed to do that. Now that's become a very tight, collegiate, collaborative team that actually runs the school. We've also made sure that they've been empowered and strengthened and professionally developed. I was fortunate enough to be sent to Harvard last year as one of the IPS fellows. We ran a similar program for our leadership team over 3 days, which most of them have said to me is some of the best professional development that they've ever done.
I think Saeed's leadership's been really important in all of the development that we've shown around the senior leadership team. He developed the team from where it was to where it is now through his sort of strong leadership himself and his past experiences. So we all saw the need and the importance of the middle management structure in our school leading our school. The residential professional development program that we've undertaken this year has been fantastic for me personally and also for the entire senior leadership team. I think it doesn't matter where you were on the experience continuum, I think everybody has grown a great deal as a result of that program. Not only did it allow us to connect more personally with each other, being a live-in program for 3 days, but it also really gave us the time and the space to reflect on our own leadership styles, where we needed to grow more, where our strengths were and how to best work together to meet the needs of the school and its students.
Knowing that you have such a supportive leadership above you means that the staff are willing to go that extra mile for the kids to get them to achieve to the best that they possibly can, because you know you're supported and recognised and it's valued. Being a part of the senior leadership team, and as I said, I've only been on the team for 12 months, but it's been really seamless. It wasn't an opportunity I was expecting and it came up and I sort of jumped at it. It's just been so amazing being part of a team that are heading in the same direction and have no even remote deviations from that, which is fantastic. And we don't even have to articulate it all that often, it just happens because we all know we've got each other's backs. Whenever you've got an idea, people are like, great, let's do it. And we're very supportive of each other and it's just very easy. I've been very lucky to have been included in a team with amazing role models around me and they make me want to be the leaders that they all are within the school.
Since Saeed's been at the school, there's been a lot more focus on leadership, so instead of just being a curriculum leader, I feel a lot more like I'm a person leader as well. With our residential professional development we had, it gave us the opportunity to focus on leadership from a personal perspective, where we fit into the school, our departments, within our colleagues.
From my point of view, it was a fantastic course because it was a real eye-opener into some of the things that you can do and the ways to improve. From my point of view, it's really given me a refocus on planning for the next 5 or 6 years.
So the development of the SEN learning area is a really good example of where the school was and where it is now. So SEN was still a really important program 7 years ago. It dealt with about 30 students. There was one teacher and a bunch of EAs all doing great stuff and all working really hard. But it was pretty obvious that they felt on the periphery, and whilst the rest of the school probably didn't treat them on the periphery, that's certainly how they felt. They were in a demantle at the back of the school. But that's a bona fide learning area. So if you're going to make a difference to the culture of your school, there is a real example of how we've turned a peripheral program into a bona fide learning area. So what we did was we appointed a level 3 head of learning area through the IPS flexibility to that program. We gave them a solid budget based on their income. We put the level 3 on the senior staff leadership team, and over a period of time we've restructured that so there are now 3 teachers who manage their own education assistant teams, and this year we moved them into their own one building. Along with curriculum and excellence, one of the other things we've attended to very heavily is all around attendance and behaviour. One of the prerequisites of a great school is that you must have order in classrooms and you must be able to deal with behaviour that's not conducive to good learning practices. We also say to our staff that when students enter year 7, it's a 6-year journey to year 12. Of course we want to make a difference to year 7 students, but actually we've got 6 years to work with them, because the end result is turning out a student who's not only qualified, but is able to walk confidently in the world.
There's a key benefit in schools now being able to be distinctive. So they're a distinctive school for a distinctive school community. And that enhances a sense of belonging within the school community. And that's really powerful for schools. And it's powerful for school leaders to be able to show their school community that we're about this particular community. We understand our needs and we get to make decisions based on those needs and responding to the needs of your kids, our kids.
If the tide rises, every ship will rise, including the ones with holes in it. So as you get better, people just get better. But you have to empower them and you have to support them. And you have to go with them. And you have to do it at a pace that's just above their level of comfort, but it can't be at my pace. It has to be at their pace. Benefits, of course, to students is absolutely enormous. Fundamentally, of course, you're creating a bunch of Year 12s who are leaving school fully qualified and are able to walk confident in the world and also, either go to university or get a job. Deeper than that, what we're actually doing is changing lives, and what we're actually doing is actually building a community. And I think that once that's in your heart, it transfers to your head. Those benefits are absolutely immeasurable.